All right. So this is a test of the BridgePoint YouTube live stream, and I am Matthew Pieters. We want to welcome you to another BridgePoint bonus. We are so glad that you're here with us today. I'm so glad if you're tuning in because you have become aware of the BridgePoint bonus sections of our YouTube features. Today we're trying out a test of our BridgePoint bonus live stream in conjunction with a recording, and we are really glad that you're here to join us. At the BridgePoint YouTube channel, we exist to help lead people to be fully devoted followers of Jesus and to provide content that will help you connect with God spiritually and with your community. And at BridgePoint, we've been going over a new series called What to Do About Worry. Now, a lot of people worry all the time, and we're looking at various passages in Scripture that encourage our hearts and help us to not be afraid, to know what to do with our worry, and how to handle that in a way that brings us hope and help and peace. And this coming Sunday, we're going to be looking at a particular aspect of worry. What happens when worry starts to settle in, when it becomes what we like to call anxiety. Now, anxiety is a technical term that a lot of people use. It usually means someone has a settled-in pattern of worry that begins to affect their whole life. It affects their soul, it affects their mind, it affects their body. There are a lot of physical symptoms, and it can become a vicious cycle. And people who are trapped in worry don't know what to do. And we're going to be taking a look at this coming weekend what to do about worry with respect to when it settles in, and it's called anxiety. And the Bible has a whole lot to say about that. We're going to be looking at a particular passage in the Bible from 1 Peter, and we're looking at the 1 Peter chapter 4 and 5, and we're looking at what does the Scripture say about what we should do with our anxiety. And the answer is very clear. It says, humble yourself underneath God's mighty hand, and in due time He will lift you up. Cast all your anxiety on Him because He cares for you. And one of the critical pieces that we're going to see this Sunday is that God actually cares. It might seem interesting to you, but you may have seen, if you've been tuning into our channel, that we've had a lot of technical glitches lately. We have had experts come in and take a look at every aspect of our media production, and every time they get it going, and then we come back again, and it doesn't work. And who knows? And frankly, I was starting to worry. In fact, you might even say I was getting rather anxious because I was thinking about what was going to happen this coming Sunday when yet again, after trying to test it, it had failed. And God spoke to me and He said, what are you doing? What are you doing with this channel? Why haven't you cast all your anxiety on me in prayer? And I answered God and I said, well, what are you going to do about it? If it's broken, it's broken. There's nothing you can do about it. What are you going to do? Fix it? And God said, you should pray. And I remembered many times when people like my mother and my mother-in-law and other people in the church have said to me in the face of things that I think I should be able to solve, well, have you prayed about it? And it's so amazing that God actually cares about our YouTube channel. And He actually cares about the live stream. And He cares about you. And He cares about everything in your life. The things that you don't know what to do with. The things that you can't solve. And what He wants is He wants you to cast all of your anxiety on Him and to pray. And to humble yourself and say, God, this is out of my control. Even these things, you know what? Do you even care if a video gets put up on YouTube? And I think the answer is yes. And so we're going to be taking a look at some of these things, and God has been teaching us, and me particularly, lessons about what it looks like to really cast all of our anxiety on Him, knowing that He cares for it all. And one of the techniques that we're going to be looking at this Sunday, and then we're going to be diving into it a little bit deeper in our next BridgePoint bonus, is praying to God and to cast all our anxieties on God because He cares. And the way in which we want to do that is what I call praying with the pros. And so what I mean by that is looking at prayers in Scripture. You can find them all over. The Apostle Paul has many prayers that you can see. One of the greatest ones is in Ephesians chapter 3. And in Ephesians chapter 3, somewhere probably in 21, 22 area verses, I don't have it memorized right now, but it says that God is able to do more than we can ask or imagine. And what it looks like to pray with the pros is to look at how they pray and then put your circumstance into that prayer and then verbalize that to God using the kind of language that the people in Scripture prayed. And another great way is to look at the Psalms. Now, coming in the BridgePoint bonus, we're going to be specifically looking at Psalm 23. In fact, many people say Psalm 23 is the most famous passage in all the Bible. Very close, almost tied perhaps with John 3:16. And almost everyone knows some of Psalm 23, but what's particularly great about Psalm 23 is that it captures all of the emotions of the psalmist. It captures all the emotions of David as he's praying to God about various needs and circumstances. And what we want to do is we want to learn a technique to pray with the pros. In other words, find a prayer in Scripture. You can find them all throughout Psalms for the whole spectrum of the human emotion. And you can pray your prayers through the Psalms. First, we're going to look at what it looks like to read it and to understand it. And then we're going to look at what it looks like to find things in the Psalms that you identify with. Are you sad? Are you happy? Are you afraid? Do you feel that everything is closing in on you? And to learn to cry out to God using their language. And we're going to check that out in the BridgePoint bonus. So I hope you'll tune in this Sunday at 10:30 a.m. to the YouTube live channel, or you can come visit us on Sunday morning at BridgePoint Church in Valparaiso and check out the upcoming BridgePoint bonus that will be released on Tuesday morning as additional material to help you follow Jesus and learn about what you can do to find solutions to your anxiety in this new series, What to Do About Worry. So thanks so much for tuning in. If you like this channel, give it a like, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and by all means, share it with your friends on social media. We look forward to hearing from you soon. Stay tuned for more content coming up.